Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to round 20 of the NOSSCAR B Cup Series Championship. This is the final race before the chase begins, folks. This is for all the cabbage. This is for all the marbles. 16 drivers. Chansey is on the pole. Colorado Cuban, Timac 11, Throbbing Vein, Your Done Son, and Steve make up the front three rows. This is going to be a race for the ages. 200 laps at Richmond. Are any of these guys ready for that? They're already discussing it. You can overhear the discussions. There's a lot of drivers in today's race that are on the bubble of making the chase or barely missing out. Green flag is out.
Stay low.
Oh, and big problems for Colorado Cuban right off the hop. It looked like there was contact between he and Throbbing Vein. Throbbing Vein driving the number 5 car. Already big problems here after lap 1. You got Chansey in the lead, Timac in second, Throbbing Vein in third, and Your Done Son 50 in fourth. And there's a little bit of a gap back to 5th place. Your Done Son 50 in the 6 car has been one of the strongest drivers all season long in both the NOSSCAR X2 Series and the NOSSCAR B Cup Series.
On the bottom, one back. Left side's clear. The leader's a second ahead.
Timac 11 appears to pull aside and let his teammate Throbbing Vein go, and possibly Your Done Son as well. Jay Taylor has climbed from 7th all the way up to 5th. 7th place qualifying effort for the former winner here in the B Cup Series. 8 times Jay Taylor has went to victory lane in the NOSSCAR X2 Series. He now is the second most winningest driver in the X2 Series. X2 Series being no setups, an IROC series if you will. And the B Cup Series, which is what you're witnessing right now, with setups on and a lot longer distance of races. It's the number 78 car so far. Chansey is up there in the race lead. There's already a car on pit road. Oh, and the 24 is Slideways. That's going to allow his teammate Jay Taylor to close in on the back bumper of him. And now there's a good look at Steve driving the number 3 car, running in the 14th position, 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down as of right now. What a battle here for 2nd and 3rd. Your Done Son and Throbbing Vein. Both drivers are actually looking for a win to get in the chase. Both of them require a win to make the chase. And it's a very big surprise actually to the NOSSCAR community because both drivers are very, very talented. It came down to attendance. Throbbing Vein and Your Done Son 50 have raced in a lot less events than some of the drivers that are locked into the chase, such as Trouble For You and Twitch Whiskers and RJ Haywood and Mananger. Mananger comes into this race driving the number 35 car. 2 points to the good. In 14th in the standings. In a chase spot. Mananger currently running 9th place on the racetrack right now.
Inside's clear.
Oh, and problems now for the 98 car of Twitch Whiskers. She's having a little bit of connection issues as she looked a little ghosty and she looks a little squirrely. She saved it, and as did Timac here. But Timac's going to get challenged for P5 by his teammate Jay Taylor. There goes Jay. He's going to take P4. Chansey, Your Done Son, Throbbing Vein, Jay Taylor, Timac 11, your top 5. And then in P6 you got Tyler Scott. And he's about 3.6 seconds behind Timac 11 in P5. Timac 11 running in P5, that is. And now we're getting a report that there are 12 cars left on the lead lap after only 12 laps of competition out of the 200. This is going to be a long, fierce, intense, grueling race for these guys. All to make the chase for the championship.
There's a spin right in front.
Oh, and we got a spinner here in turn 3, and it was driver 88 in the number 46 car. Another one of NOSSCAR's best, and it looked like he lost control or maybe had some contact with another driver. And Timac 11 appears to be very, very sideways here. Oh, that's so much better. We're getting a report that Timac adjusted his brake bias from inside the race car. Put it from 52 to 56. And
Whoa,
and we got a spinner in the corner again, and it actually looked like Larson Rocks 321 in the number 31 car. He has himself a chase position. He's a former winner in the NOSSCAR X2 series as well. And Larson Rocks is still up there. And Snow Wolf Sniper has appeared to spin over there in turn 2. Snow Wolf Sniper, one of the most successful GTA 5 NASCAR series drivers of all time, trying to make his mark here on NASCAR 15 on the PlayStation 3 console. And there's a good look at Mananger, who runs in the 9th position. He is 1 lap down.
Clear left. First is in front by 8 seconds.
It gets very difficult to pass at Richmond, especially when the tires begin to wear. Timac was able to clear Mananger there. Oh, and we've got problems here. Jay Taylor, who was running in the 4th position, has lagged out of tonight's race. He was running in the 4th spot, guys.
Go up top.
That's actually going to put Jay Taylor in the 16th position. Certainly not the day that Jay Taylor wanted to have.
There's a 9-second gap to the leader.
Oh, and we've got a spin on the front straightaway, and it appears to be Colorado Cuban. One of the most successful drivers we've had in NOSSCAR competition. He's a part-timer, drives the 18 car, but we're getting a report that he actually may have left the event. Severe damage on that 18 car. And Colorado Cuban has decided to call it a night. As Timac has, I was about to say Timac has gotten around Throbbing Vein, but Throbbing Vein is ghosting and having connection problems as he goes back around Timac to take the 3rd spot. Oh, and it appears it's happening again.
We're on the bottom, 3 back. Check your outside. The leader is 10 10 seconds ahead. Clear up top.
As of right now, Chansey is your race leader. Your Done Son is in second. Throbbing Bane in third. Timac fourth. Trouble for You is fifth. And I'm still trying to figure out where Throbbing Bane is on the racetrack right now. And there... Was that Twitch Whiskers? I can't even tell. That might have been the 98 of Twitch Whiskers spinning out back there in the front straightaway.
Got a car behind. You're all clear. On your rear. Got one behind you.
RJ Haywood running in 11th, 1 lap down. Chansey is putting on a blistering pace here so far at Richmond.
Car 2 back.
Here's a good look at Steve in the number 3 car in 10th position. Actually, I should correct myself. Steve in 10th place is 2 laps down, therefore the driver of sitting in 11th.
Clear now.
Certainly 2 laps down, that being RJ Haywood.
Car behind is less than a second away. Okay, behind you. Clear all around. Three back, coming low. Closing on the bottom.
Timac 11 underneath Steve Jr. 24. And he's trying to clear him without making contact, and he was able to do so, but he slides up the racetrack with very old worn tires here. Oh, and Steve gets hooked into the wall by Throbbing Bane.
The car's just DNF.
Oh, and that was horrible looking. That happened right in front of Timac. So that is 3 cars now out of the race at Richmond, and Trouble for You was parked on the start-finish line, or on the front straightaway rather. Timac made minor contact there. Not sure why he decided to pull it across the track again.
That's a full second you made up on the driver in front. Way to go, buddy. Nice job.
And now it appears Timac 11 has stayed out an extra lap, and he's going to try to come around here and get a bonus point.
At this lap, I want you to come down pit road right now. Doing great, nice and steady. Second place is way back. It's too fast, man. Check up, check up.
You need some fuel, and I think we should change those tires out. All right, let's do this. In and out.
Timac makes his pit stop.
Let's go to work, boys. Here we go.
The 2014 going to work. It's going to be a 4-tire change here. Full tank of gas and some air pressure adjustments on the right side, and Timac back out on the racetrack. He's going to have to stay low here as there is some oncoming traffic.
Clear right.
After the first pit stop, it appears that it's your Done Son, Throbbing Bane, Timac, and Chansey. Your top 4. Chansey goes from 1st to 4th on the first cycle of pit stops. We're not really sure what happened there. If we get a report, we'll certainly give it to you.
Put up top.
But Chansey has lost 3 positions after the first cycle of pit stops. Throbbing Bane is up 1, Timac is up 1, and your done son is up 1. Looking for a victory to put himself in the chase is your done son in the number 6 car.
Right side's clear.
He needs a win to get in, and right now he's in the spot that he needs to be in. Throbbing Bane needs a win to get into the chase. He's sitting in 2nd.
Car behind's closing in on us. Keep pushing. Watch your inside.
And looks like Twitch Whiskers is going to let Ty go there. She looks a little bit out of control. Looks like she's battling a very loose race car. You gotta wonder if Chansey maybe made a whole heap of adjustments to his race car, because we're really not getting any report yet. And it's not a slight difference either. Your Dunson is the race leader, 13 seconds, 14 seconds rather, in front of Chansey, who runs in the 4th spot. And we're getting some very unwelcome commentary from Bondosaurus there. Bondosaurus was 12 minutes late for tonight's event. Did not join the race chat for the qualification races until 9:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Therefore, he does not receive eligibility for tonight's event.
That's a full second you made up on the driver in front. Way to go, buddy.
And he can cry and complain all he wants. But when you're late, you're late. Might be why he's unemployed. And Chansey takes the race lead. Not the race lead, rather, he takes the 3rd spot from Timac. 78 car very strong here tonight at Richmond. Pole sitter. Chansey has not made a NOSSCAR X2 or NOSSCAR B Cup Series start since Season 1 of the X2 Series. It's been quite some time. And we're now working Season 4 of the X2 Series. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea about how many races it's been since we've seen Chansey. Chansey's running in 3rd, Timac 4th, and Spud's 7-fold. We haven't really spoken too much about Spuds. He's in 5th place, 1 lap down. But he's making his very first start here in the NOSSCAR B Cup Series. First start in any of the 2 NOSSCAR series for that matter. And he's running very strong. 5th place. I guess it looks good on paper. But then when you take a look at the lap intervals, the time intervals rather, you'll see that your Dunson is putting on a racing clinic here at Richmond Raceway. Oh, and contact there. Driver 88 got into a scuffle there, it looks like, with Throbbing Bane and Twitch Whiskers. Twitch still having connection issues.
Doing an awesome job today, buddy. Right side's clear. Car 2 back. Now you're clear.
And Timac is going to capitalize on some of those incidents there, and he's going to take over the 3rd spot from Throbbing Bane. Or at least he's going to try to. Throbbing Bane and Timac are teammates, and Throbbing Bane needs a victory to make the chase, but as of right now, Throbbing Bane is not close enough to achieve that.
Closing on the bottom.
So it might be time for these two boys to have at her, you never know.
Watch your inside. Clear on the inside.
And now your done son has opened it up to a 15-second gap over the two drivers running third and fourth. Very massive gap between the two cars in fourth and fifth. You have Timac in fourth, you have Spud Sevenfold in fifth, and one lap separates the two. New race leader coming up shortly. We know it because there's going to be some green flag pit stops. We're trying to figure out still who's got the fuel mileage, who can make the long green flag run work without having the tires wear out and lose too much track position to the race leaders. Mananger in the 35 car having a great run. He's sitting in the 7th spot. He's currently 1 lap down and in trouble of going 2 laps down. But he's looking good. 16 cars started the race, 13 of them left on the racetrack, and we're scoring only 4 cars on the lead lap. Your done son and Chansey have both put on an incredible pace today so far. And it's the number 6 car, the number 78, the number 24, and the number 5 showing the way so far here at Richmond. It's hilarious going by turn 4 every single time. Those yellow barrels are all over the place. They've been knocked loose, and I believe it was from an incident earlier involving driver 88 in the 46 car and possibly Twitch Whiskers in the 98. We're really not too sure about it.
You gained 3/10 on the car ahead.
There's a good look at RJ Haywood in the 19 car. He is inside the top 10 right now.
Car 3 back.
There's a good look at Snow Wolf Sniper just in front of him. Snow Wolf Sniper doesn't make too many starts in the NOSSCAR Series, but he decided to pack up his car and his gear and travel out to Richmond Raceway, and so far it's been a good decision for Snow Wolf Sniper.
He's coming low.
5 car Throbbing Bane went very high up there in turns 1 and 2. He's able to gather it back up, keeps Timac within sight.
I told you those tires wouldn't last.
The leaders have completed, the leader, your done son rather, has completed 61 laps now. He's working lap 62. And I guess we should give you the report that Chansey is slowly but surely closing down, closing the gap on the race leader, your done son. It is now down to, I believe, 6 seconds, or rather 10 seconds, when it was about 13 seconds, just about 10 laps ago. There's another look at driver 88. He's got the yellow rookie stripes on the back of his car. He is indeed a rookie here in the NOSSCAR Series. Very strong competitor, though. He's got a couple of top 10s under his belt. At the conclusion of Season 1 of the NOSSCAR B Cup Series, there are going to be a couple of cars opening up. A couple of seats will be opening.
The tire's blowing, you wore it out.
And there's already some rumor and some word going around down the street about who will be taking over what ride. The gap between first and second is now down to 9 seconds. Seems to be about every 4 or 5 laps, 1 second gets closed in. Chansey is on his way. Chansey runs in a number of leagues here on NASCAR 15, but when he finds time, he pops into a random series that he's never been in before just to turn some heads and get the attention focused on him a little bit. There's a good look at Larson Rocks.
Flat tire, flat tire.
Larson Rocks is a A very talented driver, especially on the 1.5 miles and the 2 miles. His 1.5 mile program is stellar. But when you take him to a short track where a lot of problems can happen to a lot of the wrong drivers at the wrong times, it seems to be bad luck finding him, and that's it. If he didn't have bad luck, he might not have any luck at all, that Larson. There's a good view of trouble for you. Quietly hanging out in the top 5. He is 1 lap down. And now we're getting a report that your done son 50 is on pit road. And we're also getting a report that Chansey was on pit road just a lap or 2 before he was even. So everyone is coming down pit road. We're getting a report somebody might have missed pit road. We're also getting a report, a live feed momentarily there, of Tyler Scott brushing the wall coming out of turn 2. Tyler Scott looking to crack the chase. He comes into this race only 4 points out of a chase spot.
I only got touchy out here today.
Your done son 50 comes out of the pits. He's going to stay in front of Timac for the time being. Timac is yet to make his pit stop. I believe he is the final one. When you get yourself into a long fuel run strategy like this, you almost guarantee yourself a bonus point for leading a lap, but your shot at victory might be tarnished. When you stay out on the racetrack with old tires for longer periods of time, you're certainly not getting around the racetrack as fast as the guys that pit 4, 5, 6 laps sooner than you did. So it's a catch-22. You don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball by pitting too soon or too late, but sometimes it's worth the risk. Getting a report, Timax coming in this time.
Too fast, man. Check out.
There he is.
Let's fill up the starters. Let's get some fresh tires on. Okay, let's make this work.
And now we're going to take a moment to send Bondosaurus a message to let him know he was late, because he won't stop talking to me. And there we are. Hopefully he reads that. And now the 24 team is going to go to work. And now here he goes. He's away. No adjustments. It was a very quick stop for the 24 bunch. And now after the second cycle of pit stops, your done son is still your race leader. Robbing Bane sits in the 3rd spot. He's trying to chase down Chansey, and it's been very tough to do that today. I'd say that the task at hand for every driver is to chase Chansey down and make a pass on him. It has not been easy to do, that is for sure. Oh, and Tyler Scott, a little bit out of control there. I didn't know where he was going. Made contact with the 78 there. That was a little dangerous. Tyler Scott may be going to pit road. I'm not really too sure. There is a car down there who appears to not be moving down towards the pit road entrance. It just might be him. And there is Snow Wolf Sniper running in 9th. He's 2 laps down in 9th position, but you know what? For a part-timer that runs maybe 4 races per season at most, that's really not too bad. It's a very, very competitive series. And if you go to www.NOSSCAR with 2 S's, NOSSCAR.com, and take a look at the standings and the results and the schedules and the drivers lists, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Our slogan should be competitive is us. And now Mananger has passed Spuds, and that was for position number 5. Trouble for You, Mananger, and Spuds are all battling for 5th, 6th, and 7th, and they're on a little bit different fuel strategy. Your Done Son has the lead. He's now closing behind Timac. That next car there is Your Done Son. He is the race leader. And if Timac 11 goes a lap down, there will only be 3 cars on the lead lap. 3 cars and that's it. In fact, 4th and 5th, Timac and Mananger are separated by 1 full lap. This means the 5th place car, Mananger, is 2 laps down. It's hard to believe. Timac clears driver 88. Driver 88 is a couple of laps down in 12th position. There's Twitch Whiskers fighting hard. She's in 13th. We're getting a report that Twitch is struggling with a bit of a loose handling race car. She's been able to counter it a little bit when she's got the fresher tires, but unless you're pitting every 20 laps, fresh tires aren't gonna save you. Timac 11 has closed in a little bit here on Throbbing Bane. Throbbing Bane being his teammate. Bane in the 5, Ty in the 24. There's probably a little bit of pressure. Both of them know that the race leader, Your Done Son, is not far behind these guys. If Your Done Son gets around these guys, there's 2 cars on the lead lap, and that would be Your Done Son himself, the race leader, and Chansey. Chansey 3113, driving the 78 car. We're reaching the halfway mark of this 200 lap race at the 3/4 mile short track that runs like a super speedway. Certainly treats the tires like a speedway. I see a lot of the tire wear patterns here at Richmond. Very much similar to the tire wear patterns that you would find at tracks like Atlanta and Phoenix. The 6 car, the race leader, Your Done Son, has caught these guys. We're getting a report that Larson Rocks in the 31 car is on pit road, currently scored in 8th. Might lose a spot or 2 while he's making his scheduled pit stop though. There's a blistering pace being set by the top 4 cars. But the real pace is being set by that number 6 Ford. And that number 6 Ford Fusion is now all over the back bumper of Timac. He might have to pull over and let him go here shortly. More cars coming down pit road. Fuel strategy is continuing. RJ Haywood now in the 8th position in that number 19 car.
Left side's clear.
Tyler Scott in the 78B car. There are 2 78s on the racetrack. Do not adjust your television sets or your laptop screens. Tyler Scott running in the 9th position. And now this little group of traffic that they just passed, Throbbing Bane and Timac just passed, Your Done Son is having to deal with this same traffic. So this is buying these guys some time, the 3rd and 4th place runners. They got a little bit of a gap now in between themselves and the race leader, and that's kind of what they wanted to see. It's not a very big track, and it doesn't take very long for the leaders to catch traffic. The drivers are discussing how to run the center of the turns. As you can see, a lot of guys struggling to find grip especially later in the run.
Far inside, just looking. Went on the left.
And now your done son is all over the back bumper of Timac, looking for the 4th spot. Or not looking for the 4th spot, rather trying to put him 1 lap down.
Inside. You're one
There he goes.
left side.
The 6th car goes by on the inside.
The tire's blowing. You wore it out.
Top 3 cars left on the lead lap. Those 3 cars are your done son, Chansey, and Throbbing Bane. Keep in mind, Throbbing Bane not very far in front of your race leader at this point. Soon to be 2 cars on the lead lap only, but again, we're not very far away from scheduled pit stops. Oh, and it gets a little dicey there as Larson Rocks wiggled, and Throbbing Bane needed to find a way by.
Got one working the top. Right side's clear.
Spud's 7-fold just exited pit road.
Car approaching
It
low.
appeared he was in position number 8 as of right now. There's Mananger in 5th.
Set him up. That's it. Got a car closing on your outside. Right's clear.
Now there are 2 full laps in between Timac 11 and Mananger, who run in the 4th and the 5th positions. And now your done son and Throbbing Bane are side by side. This is not a battle for the lead. Throbbing Bane is trying to get back on the lead lap. He's not giving up here. He doesn't want to give it to your done son so easily. He at least wants to make him work a little bit for it. Maybe wear his tires out a little bit. Maybe stress him out. Hold him up. And I'm not really sure what's going on with Spuds. Maybe he missed pit road because he was going by on the inside slow once again. But now, as you can see in Timac's mirror, he's going to resume up to full speed and continue. I think he's just simply giving way for the leaders. I think he's doing what Twitch Whiskers is doing and just letting them go on the outside.
Flat tire. I told you.
There are a few cars on the track in the race right now with severe damage that are struggling to maintain speed and stick with the race leaders. And we're getting a report that Chansey is now on pit road. He gives up the 2nd place spot. And now the race leader, your done son 50, is going to do the same. 1 lap after Chansey. And now Throbbing Bane and Timac are going to be running 1st and 2nd once they go all the way around 1 full time. But until then, they're still going to be sitting in the same spot that they are. But as you can see on the map in the bottom left corner, the number 6 car, the dot for the number 6, is on pit road. Throbbing Bane's going to go by him and take the lead. So this next time around at the start-finish line, it should hand Throbbing Bane a bonus point if he doesn't have one already.
Those tires wouldn't last.
And there goes Throbbing Bane to pit road. Timac 11's going to stay out and collect a couple more laps led here. Trouble for You looked very slow. He was on the inside on the front straightaway there. He was running in the 7th position the last time we got a report about him. We always see the number 10 car towards the front and running strong in the 2 NOSSCAR Series, and it's Trouble for You. Real name Harold, that we got to thank for that.
Whatever you're doing, you just keep doing it.
Just ahead of Timac, you can see driver 88 and Twitch Whiskers. It appears that they're battling for position. A couple laps down, but they're still running strong. They've both recently made a pit stop to grab 4 fresh tires. The pit stops have not yet quite cycled through. Literally, the only driver still on the racetrack that has not made his 3rd pit stop is Timac 11. Oh, and there's a car that has, there's 2 cars that have spun on the front straightaway.
inside, trying to get to your corner.
One car was Chansey, and I couldn't quite tell who the other car was. There's now a 4-second gap in between your Dunson and Chansey. And once Timac 11 makes his scheduled pit stop, his third pit stop of the race, that's going to be the battle for the lead. The 6 car and the 78.
Take a good look at that fuel gauge, buddy.
The leader is working lap 108 right now. The Canadian kid. Timac 11. He's probably only about 2-3 laps away at the very most from making his scheduled pit stop, his third one of the race.
Looks like you've worn the right tire down.
It appears he's going around one more time. He's going to risk it. He's going to risk it all for the glory.
We don't want to run out of fuel, buddy. Take a look at your gauge, 10-4. Right, it's all clear, bud.
Here comes Timac 11. He's on pit road.
More tires, you might as well fill her up. Okay, buddy, we're ready for you.
Scheduled pit stop.
Okay, boys, here we go.
13 cars left on the racetrack. We're a little over halfway done. Once again, guys, this is round 20. Round 20 of 25 here in Season 1 of the NOSSCAR B Cup Series. This is the final race before the chase begins. The NOSSCAR B Cup Series Championship Chase is only 5 races long. There's no eliminations. There's no rounds. The chase driver with the most points at the end of those 5 races will be your NOSSCAR B Cup Series champion.
Clear on the inside.
Timac 11 just unlapped himself. Top 4 are on the lead lap. And I think that the game that Timac and Throbbing Bane are playing is they're trying to take as long as possible before they make a pit stop. So that way when they exit pit road, they got the fresher tires than the race leader, you're done, son.
I told you those
And then they
tires
might have a
were
shot
wet.
at staying in front of them.
Just let him by. Clear low.
Mananger continues to run in the fifth position.
We're on the bottom, 3 back.
Timac 11 decided to drift turns 1 and 2. Wouldn't recommend that anywhere. Not enough stock car in the NOSSCAR series. And now there appears to be a battle for the race lead between Chansey and your Dunson in the mirror of Timac 11. Chansey's going to clear him. He makes the move on the bottom. New race leader. Remember, guys, Chansey is not eligible for the chase because the requirement is you need to compete in 6 or more races in the season in order to qualify for the chase. Even if you do pick up a victory, you can find all of this information on www.nosscar.com. And Chansey is making his very first start this season.
Let him go on around, buddy. Far outside you. Right's clear. Looking inside. Hard tucked in behind you. Far outside, at your door.
It's getting dicey now. The race leader, Chansey, is all over the back bumper of Timac. And Timac had to get around Mananger there before he could try to drive away from the 78 car.
3 back, coming low.
Driving away from the race leader, Chansey, is going to be easier said than done, that is for sure. The leader is on lap 121, ladies and gentlemen. We are past halfway, 80 laps remaining in the last race before the chase. We're going to take a short break. You're watching the NOSSCAR B Cup Series race at Richmond here on NASCAR 15 on the PlayStation 3 console.
Got one behind you. We're on the bottom, 3 back. At your door, up top. Clear up high. Car inside, just looking. Okay, behind you. Still right behind you. Let him go on around, buddy. At your door, on the bottom. Car inside at your door. Go high, go high. You're a lap down. Looks like you've worn the right tire down. Car inside you. One inside. Inside's clear. Go to the high side. High side. Put it up top. High side's clear. I told you those tires wouldn't last. Closing on the bottom. Just let him by. Car closing on the inside. Looks like you've worn the right tire down.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Your race leader is still Chansey 3113.
Let him by. Be smart here. Watch your mirror. He's coming up fast. Car up high. Right side's clear.
Your done son is in second. Throbbing Bane is in third. 1 lap down. Timac 11 fourth. 1 lap down. Trouble for You is in fifth. 4 laps down. Man Anger is 6th, 4 laps down. RJ Haywood is 7th, 5 laps down. And the rest of the order is a complete mystery to me. I haven't seen the complete leaderboard in quite some time. It is Chansey, your done son, Throbbing Bane, Timac in Trouble, your top 5. We've got less than 70 laps to go. Some cars are already starting to make their 4th pit stops. That is how spread the fuel strategy and the pit strategy in general has been since the drop of the green flag. In the NOSSCAR series, there's 2 series that are on the PlayStation 3 console on NASCAR 15, and there are no cautions. No cautions whatsoever. The only cautions you'll ever see are at the restrictor plate events, just to keep the pack together. If there's an incident, we don't want the field to be spread out for the rest of the event. We want to see some drafting. But for these series that have no cautions, it's almost worth it to try some sort of fuel strategy as long as you're not too far off the pace. If you're off the pace, it may not go your way. A little bit of contact there between the race leader and Throbbing Bane as Chansey has made his way down pit road. That 78 car, the strong car, is in the pits.
I told you those tires wouldn't last.
Benson now looking low on Throbbing Bane. There's been 2 or 3 cars that have been able to dominate in today's race, but we'll never know how good Colorado Cuban or Steve or Jay Taylor, for that matter, was going to fare tonight. Jay Taylor lagged out around lap 20. Colorado Cuban hard into the wall early, and then another spin later on. He called it quits, and I'm not quite sure what happened to Steve. We suspect that he may have lagged out. So we are down to 12 cars rather on the lead lap. Spud Sevenfold making his debut in the NOSSCAR Series. Crashed with severe damage to the front end, and he's going to pick up a 13th place finish for his effort. The leader is working lap 138, but it's your done son that's on pit road now. Throbbing Bane now coming down pit road. Timac 11 is going to stay out on the racetrack. It's to the point where I've come this far, can't really stop now. I got a whole heap of extra gas over everybody, and instead of putting it all to waste and going in and getting the fresh tires, seems to be worth it at this point to see if this is the right strategy. If Timac 11 can pull it off, this will be his 8th victory this season. He leads all active drivers, all time, for the most NOSSCAR B Cup Series wins and NOSSCAR X2 Series wins, but keep in mind he's been in more races than anybody else. You may be able to call Timac the Richard Petty of the NOSSCAR Series.
One up top. Clear high. He's coming on the inside. Put it on the low side. Nice and smooth. You're way out in front. Use that clean air.
The 2 cars that are going to be battling for the race lead once Timac makes his 4th pit stop of the race are going to be Chansey and your Dunson, and there's about a 6-second gap that separates the 2. Chansey is 6 seconds in front of your Dunson. They are both scored 2nd and 3rd as of right now. Throbbing Bane in 4th, Mananger 5th. So if you're Timac, when do you come down pit road? Or would you have already? Would you have tried this strategy, or would you have went all out, full speed ahead, and short pit? Let me know in the comments section below.
Want your fuel? You ready to dive in here, buddy? Time to hit pit road. Hit this lap, buddy. The tire's blown. You wore it out. Concerned about your fuel. You're running a little low.
Timac coming down pit road this time.
Coming low, Joker. check up.
You need some fuel, and I think we should change those tires out.
It's getting interesting now. We're getting close to the end. Chansey is so close to Timac even before he makes his pit stop that he's going to pass him before he gets to the start-finish line and take the lead. That 78 car has been putting on a clinic here today. Your done son is now in second. He's about 9 seconds back from the race leader, Chansey.
And smart. Here we go.
He's down and away now.
You're 1 lap down. Looks like you've worn the right tire down. Clear right.
So right now it is Chansey, your done son, Throbbing Bane, and Trouble for Timac 11, and Trouble for You, your top 5. Man Anger rides in 6th. I believe RJ Haywood is 7th. Snowwolf Sniper is 8th. I believe Larson Rocks is in 9th, and Twitch Whiskers rounds out your top 10. Tyler Scott 11th, and Driver 88 12th, and I believe those are all the cars left on the racetrack at this time.
The tire's blowing. You wore it out.
And less than 50 laps to go at Richmond. You can hear the conversations between some of the drivers saying thank you and letting each other know what their next move is to avoid disaster.
Trying to make up 14s.
Clear right side. Car 2 back. Car up top, just looking. High side's clear. Looks like you've worn the right tire down. Car approaching low.
Yes, sir. Yes, I can.
Oh, talking to me.
And now I believe they're discussing fuel mileage, guys, over the radio. Some of these drivers are getting very curious to know who can make it and who can't. We're getting word that Trouble for You is going to try to make it to the end. He's running in 5th, 4 laps down to your race leader.
The biggest thing in my setup's good.
Most of my setups are all set up for fuel mileage. I can outbound everything on fuel mileage. It's just not fast.
There's a good look at RJ Haywood running in 7th. He's trying to locate Man Anger. It's Man Anger in the 35 car that's running in the 6th position. So far, Mananger nowhere to be found in the short distance in front of him.
You get that long list, man, it's not to kill your momentum so much.
Saw someone on pit road there. It's to the point where every 4, 5, 6, 7 laps there's someone coming down pit road. There's so many different fuel strategies and pit strategies going on.
Flat tire, flat tire.
And I don't believe that we're going to have anyone make it to the very end without pitting again. I just don't see it happening. I think that the driver in the best situation, the best hands to do that here would be Timac, and even the 24, I just don't think he can go 55 laps on fuel. That's what he's asking from this fuel run if he does it.
Alright, go ahead, you're done. So you come in.
Coming in this time, though.
And we just heard a report that someone's coming in this time, but it might be Chansey, the race leader.
You're 1 lap down. I told you those tires wouldn't last.
That was one for you last time.
And it is Chansey that's coming down pit road. So your Dunson takes over the race lead. Throbbing Bane's going to get around him here for second.
I got one and I can't get it.
Come on, man, keep that momentum. Keep that momentum.
Yeah, it's a second and something slower than my control.
On your left side.
I mean, it's slow. I tried some adjustments, I guess what it's supposed to do.
Oh, and problems on the front straightaway. There's a car backwards up against the wall, and it's Twitch Whiskers.
Looking low. Put it on the left.
It will not get speed and keep it.
Looks like you've worn the right tire down.
Depends on my controller. Like, there's 100 bucks sitting over there sitting on my steering wheel. No, I got the front guys for 220, we'll get 3 and the 4. I got it, it's like four plate now, and then when I get the 4, I'll do it there.
Right now it's your Dunson with the race lead. Throbbing Bane second, Timac third, Chansey fourth, Trouble for You fifth, Mananger sixth, RJ Haywood in seventh.
Camera angle and everything, oh man,
It's getting exciting, guys. We're down to under 30 laps to go as your Dunson has just come down pit road. This is going to give the lead to Throbbing Bane here once he comes all the way around to get around the 6th car.
The tire's blowing. You wore it out. He's a lap down, man.
Oh, and there's a car parked on
Keep pushing.
the inside of turn 4, and it was Tyler Scott in the 78. And it looked like Throbbing Bane made some contact. Timac 11 made some contact with Throbbing Bane after the incident. Timac 11 currently your leader, but he's got to make another pit stop before the end of the race, and Chansey is only 2 seconds, under 2 seconds behind Timac.
Touchy out here today.
Chansey running in second. Your Dunson is in third, and your Dunson's got about an 8-second gap in between he and Chansey. However, your Dunson has the fresher tires. Does he have enough time to make a late race charge to take the lead from Chansey? Because once Timac pits, it's going to be Chansey and your Dunson battling for the race lead.
Coming low.
.31 car just in front of Timac. He's a few laps down. I believe it's the 31. It is indeed. Larson Ross 321. Some drivers not having the night that they expected to have at Richmond. A lot of teams might be going home disappointed, but I can also name a few drivers that are going to go home with a smile and be happy with the way the weekend went for them, that's for sure. And now the race leader, Chansey, is all over the back bumper of Timac, and it's not a battle for position. Timac is about to go one lap down, and Ty still needs to make a scheduled pit stop. It'll be his 5th and final pit stop of the race.
And clear. On the bottom, one back. Left side's clear. One on the bottom. Clear low.
Chansey's going to clear Timac.
Flat tire, flat tire. I told you.
You make it extremely loose.
Clear down low.
Heavy going low here.
Okay, 20 to go.
The 278 cars, they're battling. Oh, Tyler Scott wiggled. He got loose. He went low.
Got a car behind.
He's going to let these two go by. Remember, guys, Timac has still not made his final pit stop. But we do know that he's got a bit of a cushion in between 5th place and 4th place. In fact, the cushion is 3 laps in size. So Timac essentially is guaranteed for a top 5, but you know he wants that win.
The leader's a second ahead.
Heavy going low, man.
Chansey now looking low on Mananger. Again, not a battle for position. Mananger is running in 6th, I believe. Yes, sir. Mananger in the 35 car in P6 as of right now. Remember, Mananger came into this race 4 points to the good to make the chase. And with a 6th place finish, I believe he is gonna clinch a playoff berth here. This is the very first season of the NOSSCAR B Cup Series. And this race at Richmond is round 20, the very last race before the chase begins.
Okay, man, the crew chief wants you on pit road this lap, buddy.
Mananger's going to let Ty go on the inside.
Clear up top. Clear right.
Driver 88 off the pace, well off the pace.
We're low on fuel.
sitting in the 12th position. Severe damage is certainly hindering the 46 car tonight.
Driver, it's too fast, man. Check up, check up.
Looks like you're running on empty. Let's fill her up with starters.
And Timac 11 has decided to bring the number 24 down pit road for his final pit stop of the race. We're getting a report that it's going to be fuel only for the number 24 team.
Okay, we need to be fast here. In and out. Let's go.
Very quick pit stop there for Timac. He's already finished. He's already down and away.
Great, buddy. That pit stop will make all the difference. One lap behind. He's coming on the outside. Put it on the outside.
And Timac's going to come out of the pits in 3rd place. He's got about a 6-second gap over the 5 car, his teammate Throbbing Bane, who sits in the 4th spot. The question is, guys, can your Dunsun close down the 78 car of Chansey? It appears to be a very big gap. It's a 7-second gap. It is shrinking, but is it shrinking fast enough for him to make a challenge?
Ready to go.
It appeared that Tyler Scott made some heavy contact with the outside wall there, that last corner. He's going to brush it off and continue on.
8 to go. Stay on the bottom. Right's clear. Come on, let's get past it. Put it on the high side. The tire's blowing, you wore it out. Seven to go.
Timac 11 managed to get around Snow Wolf Sniper there. Sniper, very impressive race for him, sits in 8th place. Like I said earlier in the broadcast, he doesn't run very many of these races, so a top 10 finish should certainly put a smile on the face of the former GTA 5 NASCAR Series champion.
Outside.
And Bondosaurus is still being a child. He's accusing Timac of not sticking to his rules.
5 to go.
But we start at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every night, folks. Anytime we host a race, it is 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Looks like you wore
And
the right
when
tire.
Bondosaurus signs online, responds to your messages, and joins the chat at 9:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, he is no longer eligible for the qualification races or the feature races, any of the events happening that night. I have far more work to do and more things to organize if all of a sudden 10 drivers show up at 9:10 or 9:08 and want to be involved in the qualification races. This is simply why I ask everyone to be online on time so we can be prepared to race. And now Chansey is on lap 199. He's got 2 laps to go
You're a lap down.
in that number 78 machine.
2 to go.
Chansey in the number 78 car looking for his first career NOSSCAR Series win. He comes out of turn 4 to take the white flag. 1 lap to go at Richmond Raceway. Your Dunsun is in 2nd, Timac 3rd, Throbbing Bane is 4th, Man Anger is 5th. It appears that will be the front 5. And here he comes, folks. Coming out of turn 4, the number 78 car, Chansey 3113, picks up the win here at Richmond Raceway. Your Dunsun is going to finish in 2nd, Timac is going to finish in 3rd, Throbbing Bane 4th, Man Anger is going to round out the top 5. One heck of a race here, folks. This was the final race before the playoffs begin. This was round 20 of the NOSSCAR B Cup Series Championship.